Hello everyone, Mrs. Burkhart here, and I'm going to I'm going to walk you through on the Unit 3 review. In this video is to help you learn how to work the problems on the review and the test. So hopefully this review will help you on the as you compare the Unit 3 review in your OMHS as well as the Unit 3 test. So you can pause this video as you work on your Unit 3 review, or you can do it side by side, okay? So my suggestion is have your decimal scientific calculator pull up as well, so it's a lot easier to do the math as we do the Unit 3 review problems. All right, so let's get started here. So we have number 1, evaluate when A is equal to 22 and B is equal to negative 11. So the first thing I need to do is I'm going to replace that A with 22 and negative 11 to the variable B. Sorry, excuse me. So my cat was blocking the video, so sorry about that. So all right, so we have to replace that A with a 22, and when they're mashed together like this, then that smashed together like that, then they the operation to use on that one is multiplication. So let's go ahead and let's do the multiplication sign. So another way of doing that is parentheses, so negative 3 times 22, and then do the same thing with the B, which is negative 11. So you can actually put this one into your decimal scientific calculator, or you can do it order of operations. So the easiest way to do this is to put it into your Desmos calculator the way you wrote it on your paper or your whiteboard. So you have the negative 3 and then times it by 22. Okay, so make sure they are inside the parentheses. So I have to delete that. Okay, hang on for a second. So that would be 22. Oops, why did I do that? Okay, hang on for a second. So it has to be 22 right here, and then plus 2 times negative 11, 2 parentheses negative 11, and the decimal scientific calculator will do the math for you. So it's negative 88. So let's go ahead and put negative 88 as our answer for number 1. All right, number 2, we have to evaluate when x is equal to negative 15 and y is equal to negative 9. So go ahead and replace that x with a negative 15 and the y with a negative 9. So negative 3 smashed with the x is multiplication. All right, and then you have the negative 9. You can actually multiply these two together. So negative 3 times negative 15. So if you hate to hate, then there is love, and that is a positive thing. So it's 45 positive over negative 9. So 45 divided by negative 9, that is negative 5. Or you can put this one into your Desmos right away. So put that fraction and then negative 3 parenthesis negative 15 parenthesis, and then you have the 9 at the bottom. So you have the negative 9 at the bottom. Okay, then your answer is negative 9. Oh, sorry, negative 5. All right, so you still have the same answer there. And then for number 3, write the fraction in lowest terms. So we can actually, again, use our Desmos calculator right here. So you have 48 over 44. So 48 in the numerator and then 84 in your denominator. So the answer is a decimal, so convert it to fraction by clicking that circle. So it's 4/7. So your slowest terms here is 4/7. All right, so number 4. So the city planning committee is composed of 20 women and 15 men. So what fraction of the committee is composed of men? So we know that there's 15 men, okay? Out of the total number of men and women. So if we're adding this two together, 20 plus 15, there's a total 35 women and men in the committee. So the fraction would be 15 out of 35, and the lowest fraction for that, if we're going to put it into our Desmos calculator, would be, so that would be 15 over 35. So the lowest fraction would be 3 out of 7. So 3 out of 7. All right, so it's really easy if we have that scientific calculator pull up in your tab as well. All right, so Michelle bought 5/6 pound of cheese. She only used 3/10 of the cheese. How much cheese did she use? So if she has originally 5/6 and she used 3/10, okay, of the cheese, so how much cheese did she use? So that would be subtraction. So let's go ahead and put it in our Desmos. So 5/6 minus 3/10. So 5/6, okay, minus, and then 3/10, 3 over 10. Okay, so again, it's a decimal converted to a fraction, so it would be 8 over 15 cheese that she used. All right, so there you have it for number 5. Then for number 16, what would be the value of x makes the equation true? So what did we multiply to 24 to get? What do we multiply to 3 to get a 24? Well, we know that 3 times 8 will give you 24. So that means the x right here is equal to 80. Okay, so if you're multiplying times 8 to 10, then that x will be 80. Now, another way of doing this one is using the butterfly method, okay, to find the value of x. So the butterfly method here is actually you are multiplying, you do the cross multiplication. So you multiply the 10 and the 24 and then the 3 and the x. So 10 times 24, you'll get 240, okay, is equal to 3 times x, you get 3x. And then you have a nice equation here, so to find the value of x, so we have that 3 in front of it, so you do the inverse, so 3x means multiplication, so the inverse of that is dividing, so you divide each by 3 to find the value of our x, which is the same thing as 80. So x right here is equal to 80. Okay, so there you go. And for number 7, solve the equation. So if that's our equal sign, we are dividing it where the left and the right side of our equation. And if you see your x is in the left side of the equation, and again, if you have a number in front of the x, they are smashed together. That means it's a multiplication. So you do the opposite of multiplication to find the value of x or to isolate x. So you're dividing each side by that number, which is -6. So then you have the x by itself, because -6 divided by -6, that's canceled out. It doesn't mean that's zeroed out, that it's just 1x or just x. And then you divide 84 divided by -6. So if you're using your Desmos, so 84 divided by -6, you're going to get -14 as your x. So you can also check that by multiplying -6 times -14, you're going to get +84. Alright, so for number 8, you do the same thing. You divide each side by 3.25 to get the x by itself. So the x by itself right here on the left side, and then you use your Desmos, -5.2 divided by 3.25. So -5.2 divided by 3.25. 0.25, you get negative 1.6. Negative 1.6. Now, in this case, it's okay to have a decimal answer because you started off with your equation as a decimal. Alright, so for number 9, you do the same thing. You're dividing each side by negative 2.4, okay, to get x by itself. So then you take it plug into your calculator. So negative 16.8, okay, divided by negative 2.4. Negative, oops, okay, let's put it down here, negative 2.4. So that is positive 7. All right, for number 10, so if you look at here, your x right here is by itself on top of your fraction, but you have that negative 13. Now, if you see that fraction right there, it needs dividing. So to get x by itself, you are using the inverse of dividing, which is multiplication. So you're multiplying each side by negative 13. So you're multiplying that by negative 13. So this cancels out because when you are multiplying the negative 13 over 1 by 1 over negative 13, it doesn't mean it's zeroed out. It's just meaning that you have 1x or x by itself. So you're taking negative 4.3. So negative 4.3 times negative 13, okay, negative 13, you get 55.9 positive, 55.9 positive. All right, so number 11, you have the same thing. You have x divided by 2.34. So again, if you have this fraction right here and you have the x in front, on the top of your fraction, so that means that's division. So the inverse of division is multiplication. So another way of the shortcut way of multiplying is just taking this 2.34 and then negative 8, cross multiply it to get x, okay? So you're multiplying 2.35, all right, times, okay, I'm going to put the dot, so meaning you're multiplying those two, times negative 8, so 2.34 times negative 8, okay, you get negative 18.72. Negative 18.72. All right. So again, you can double check your work by plugging in that value of our x back into the original equation. See if you get the negative 8 as the answer. Okay. All right. So the last number here, okay, do the same thing. You have x divided by 1.5. You're multiplying these two numbers right here, or you're multiplying 1.5 on each side of the equation to cancel this one out, and you have x by itself, and then you take it or plug it into your calculator. So negative 4.6. So is it negative 4.6 times 1.5? Okay, negative 4.6 times 1.5, you get negative 6.9. Negative 6.9. All right, there you go, everyone. If you have any questions, if you still have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. You do have multiple attempts and limited attempts in the unit review, unit 3 review, so go ahead and retake it until you got a good grade for this unit 3 review, and as soon as you get a good grade, then you are ready to take the unit 3 test, because they are just similar to what is on your unit 3 test. All right, everyone, so again, reach out if you do have any questions. All right, see ya, bye.